Herzlich willkommen zum Paradigmenwechsel-Kongress von Roswitha Petri zum Thema Schleudergang in deine Wirklichkeit. Ich bin Devi Dinesa und vertrete Roswitha Petri, die heute wegen eines technischen Defektes das Interview mit Sri Preethaji nicht führen kann. Sri Preethaji ist eine weltweit bekannte spirituelle Lehrerin. Sie ist Mitbegründerin von Ekam, einer Philosophie- und Weisheitsschule in Südindien, wo die Menschen spirituelle Kurse machen können. Durch ihre weltweiten Kurse hat sie die Menschen in spirituelle Dimensionen ihres Bewusstseins geführt. Seit Covid-19 gibt sie Online-Kurse und diese werden in 17 Sprachen übersetzt. Sie ist Co-Autorin des Buches Die 4 heiligen Geheimnisse für Liebe und Erfüllung. Sie ist Mitbegründerin von diversen Charity-Projekten. Allein ihre Gegenwart führt die Menschen zur Heilung und öffnet ihre Herzen für Liebe und grenzenloses Mitgefühl. Durch ihre Kurse hat sie Tausende von Menschen von Leid zu einem Leben in Erfüllung gebracht. Herzlichen Dank, Sri Preethaji, dass du diese kostbaren Momente mit uns teilst.
Namaste, Sri Preethaji. Thank you very much for joining us for this online congress from the Paradigmenwechsel. And we are so happy that you came and joined us for this interview in Germany. My viewers have made a decision for making a change. Therefore, I'm asking you some specific questions later on, but first of all, I would like to ask you, what is your message for Europe?
In Europe, there are people of different cultures, different languages, pretty much like India. Even in India, we have many different languages, many different cultures, a lot of variation across the length and breadth of the country. And pretty much I see Europe pretty similar way. It has many different cultures and languages and one identity of being a European. And you've gone through 2 major world wars. There's a lot of pain. There is a lot of destruction that has happened in the past. But I also see Europe as being that part of the world where there is a lot of dissolution around power.
Yeah.
And you have transcended that to moving away from trying to hold on to power. That is a great thing.
Yeah.
But
I mean, in India, you have one government. In Europe, we have so many different countries, so many different governments. So we are trying to unify more and more. But in India, you are already one country since long time.
yes, for a long time, we are one country. The identity of being an Indian is there, but an identity of being each region is also there. From somebody from Tamil Nadu will say that I am a Tamilian. Somebody from Andhra Pradesh would be saying that I'm an Andhra. perception. So the identity, the identity of that individual region does exist along with the national identity as well. So probably you're getting closer to getting more unified. But one thing, a message, if I have to give to Europe, I would say it is time that every one of you transcend even the separation, transcend division, and experience oneness. And I believe every one of you should travel towards enlightenment.
Yes. Yes, sure. Yes. But how can we transform negative, repetitive, and returning thoughts? I think this is one hindrance to enlightenment.
And the person who's the person who's asking this question is somebody who is already a seeker, who is aware, who's aware of the repetitive, negative, obsessive thinking. Need not be negative as well, but usually, if you observe the world around us, the child probably would be lonely, or the child would be stuck in some traumatic episode. But we recognize the problem only when the child is not able to perform externally. That is, it comes to a point of a breakdown before one recognizes the negative obsessive pattern. But since you're asking this question, I believe you are a seeker who's conscious of the thinking pattern that happens within oneself. From the brain science point of view, when it is the same thinking pattern that is revolving mostly around anger or fear or anxiety or worry or sadness, it is one region of the brain that is being active. We need to shift the activation from that region of the brain to yet another region of the brain. The medial prefrontal cortex has to be activated. And the medial prefrontal cortex is that area that is responsible for greater awareness and also intelligence. So wherever I go, whether you are young or old, I teach this practice called the serene mind practice. It is a very simple 3-minute practice. Any one of you can just check it out on the internet. You would find the serene mind practice. It is a simple practice for you to push your brain, your nervous system, and your consciousness into that space of awareness. How do you break the repetitive, obsessive thinking? It is by bringing awareness to it, just not being conscious, but by seeing the entirety of that thinking pattern with intense awareness. And this practice, the serene mind practice, though it is very simple, it is scientific as well as mystical. So when you do the serene mind practice over a period of time, you would see that this repetitive, obsessive thinking slows down because you are building a consciousness that is capable of awareness.
Yeah. I mean, we do not have much time today, but maybe you can teach us one of these tools, if it's possible, or
today you want to learn? Yes, I can.
Yes, if it's possible, yes.
Yes, sure. So I will just give you a brief introduction to it, a very brief and very small things to remember. As I said, this is both scientific as well as mystical. The last step of the serene mind practice, you would see a flame move from the middle of your forehead. You will see it go to the middle of your brain, and you would see this flame glow in the middle of the brain. So it is activation of yet another region in your brain. So if you can close your eyes, be seated in a comfortable position. Bring attention to your breath. allow your breath to slow down. Inhale. Exhale. Identify the emotion that is arising in you right now. Is there anxiety or frustration or sadness or loneliness? Or are you just feeling calm, peace? Or are you experiencing love and joy or gratitude? Identify the emotion without trying to change it. As this emotion is arising within you, observe the movement of your thinking. Are you moving to a past experience? That has happened yesterday, from a month ago, or several months ago? Or are you obsessing about a future? Just observe the movement of your thought. Now see a flame move from the middle of your forehead to the middle of your brain. Let this flame glow there in the middle of your brain. Bring a smile to your face. And open your eyes.
Yes. Thank you so much, Preethaji. This is also a tool for transforming shocks and traumata.
We lead seekers, or we lead people in normal walks of life through profound spiritual journeys, where people have mystical experiences. They have experiences of vastness. They have experiences of their true nature. And when they have these experiences, that which is binding them, those traumas, if you think of those traumas as something that is binding them, they experience freedom from it. But that is not sufficient in itself to be free of traumas. What needs to happen is one must have a path, one must have the sadhanas and the practices that changes their entire consciousness. And definitely when you're on the path of enlightenment, everything that is binding you, everything that is limiting you, you experience freedom from it. And in this path, you're not being controlled by those experiences because it is a journey of evolution, evolution towards oneness and enlightenment. So to answer your question, mystical processes, total rewiring of the brain, purging out all the destructive impressions that is stored in one's consciousness, happens in awakening and continues to you to be free of it if you're on this path of enlightenment, where you experience total liberation from everything that is binding you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Would it be a help for all the viewers who are coming, who are watching this online view, to try to come to India, to ECAM, to join one of your seminars and courses?
What happens in India is enlightenment. And I believe every person who is born on this planet needs to have those profound experiences in consciousness, because we can say it from one side, that is why you're born. That is the purpose of life, to be enlightened. But in the meanwhile, before you come to India, there are various online programs that I lead people through. We have programs of Manifest. We have programs of 5 Awakenings, which is a deeper program. Manifest is a 3.5-hour program, mystical process that I lead through every month. So month after month, leading you through a mystical process for bringing prosperity and abundance in one aspect of your life, whether it is love or leadership or a relationship. It is about different dimensions of life where the process is done for month after month. Then you have the 5 Awakenings, which is also online, but these are all live programs, live online programs where I lead people through a deeper journey, a deeper spiritual journey. Then I do travel all over the world doing the field of awakening. Just finished one in Netherlands yesterday. And the next field of awakening that would happen in Europe is going to be in Switzerland, in Davos. So that would be a 4-day immersive journey to move beyond the prison walls of mind to experience an awakening in consciousness. And the next one is in October, and it'll be great for people to plug in there, to get in there, to experience and immerse in Europe. And then what happens in India is tapas or the Enlightenment Festival. Enlightenment Festival would give you a glimpse of the enlightened states of consciousness. Every year, it would be 5 enlightenment states people will immerse in, people will experience. And tapas is an intense journey towards enlightenment. where one is free of all forms of suffering, where there is a total cessation of suffering. Every propensity that causes suffering is weeded out of your consciousness. You're free of your cravings, you're free of your fears. You are in that state of pure consciousness, experiencing great peace, great delight in life, great love. These are the experiences that you have on that pure consciousness, which is free of suffering. Tapas is a 4-week journey. Seekers either do it, I've seen most seekers do it for all 4 weeks. Few of them who are not able to make it 4 weeks at a stretch, break it out into 2. They do 2 weeks first and then the 2 weeks. So this is the entirety of spectrum where we help seekers across the globe to have the spiritual experiences that we're talking about.
Shri Preethaji, I have another question, a very important questions. And many people are having these thoughts in themselves and these questions. What is the meaning of life? Why are we here?
That's a question that keeps coming up again and again, Dinesa. We can look at that question from many perspectives. Say for a mother, the meaning of life would be, say, being an extraordinary mother who's birthing an extraordinary child, who's nurturing an extraordinary child. Say you're an entrepreneur, your meaning could be from, creating something very, very useful for the people around you, or in creating wealth. Say you're an environmentalist, your meaning could be to see how your actions are impacting the earth itself. So at different points, for different people, different things can be the meanings that emerges. But these meanings are very much tied up to the identity that you've built. That is, identity of being a mother, identity of being an entrepreneur, identity of being an environmentalist. That is one level. But you would still continue to ask this question, what is the meaning of life? So the next level, we can say your meaning of life is to live free of every form of separation and suffering that is stifling you in your consciousness. That would be the meaning of your life. That is awakening from these that is binding you and that is stifling you in your life. That could be the meaning of your life. When in a seeker asked Sri Krishnaji, the co-founder of Ekam, what is the meaning of life? Sri Krishnaji said the meaning of life is to be enlightened. And what did Krishnaji mean by saying the meaning of life is to be enlightened is to live every moment of your life totally and completely. To have that complete experience of life, not being carried away by the past or the future, but being so totally present to the very moment. That is the meaning of life. And when you experience that moment, that complete moment, this question of what is the meaning of life ceases to exist. So the meaning of life is to be enlightened, where you're present to every moment of existence.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. So everybody is on the earth to become enlightened, or is this only for people who are really already transformed, who have no more repetitive thoughts and traumata, or is it for everybody, the enlightenment?
If you're a seeker wanting to experience that life, and if you're a human being, you have the consciousness, you have the brain to experience those states and stay in those states. Enlightenment is not for the spiritual elite. It is for everyone. Mm-hmm. But you need to have a seeking to experience that for which you're truly born.
Yeah, I think here the people on this Congress, they are all seekers and they want to get enlightenment. So this is really wonderful what you are telling us. And I think this is a great inspiration for everybody here on this transforming Congress. And we thank you so much. It's so wonderful that you joined us.
Patha, or the Ekam, the path of Ekam is to lead individuals to enlightenment. Whether you're joining a manifest or a 5 awakening or doing the live retreat that I do or getting to India, the path is to take you to enlightenment. That is the vision of Ekam. The Ekam's vision is to have 80,000 people live in an enlightened consciousness, thereby impacting the consciousness of the world itself. And I'm glad that the audience and the viewers of this particular interview are seekers. And we have a path. Enlightenment is happening. And it would be wonderful to see you all journeying with us.
Thank you so much, Shri Preethaji. You are doing such a wonderful work for transforming the world. And we are so happy that we have you here today and that you gave us such an enlightened views and the tools. And thank you so much. We are very grateful. Thank
wonderful you. Seeing you, Dinesa, and wonderful meeting with your entire audience.
Thank you very much.
I wish there is a seeker born in every one of you, because that is the most important thing for this world right now.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Namaste.
Namaste.